Ladies and gentlemen, it is June 17th of 2026, 3:33 in the PM, and I brought to you this video earlier. Barron, Golden Gate, Melania in black. Barron's mystery, now prepare for something that you never expected to see in your lifetime. Barron looked different. And I spoke on that briefly. And I made certain expressions. And you guys responded in the comment section. I would go on record and say at least 40 to 50% of you guys said, that's not Barron. Well, I went to lunch because I had to get my head together. And a friend of mine just happened to see the video, right? And called me. And we discussed it. I'm like, as soon as I get home, I'm gonna read the comments. I don't wanna think about it right now. I just want to eat lunch. But we kept talking. And people, I've shown you the receipts. March 14th, 1980. What happened in Iran? November 16th, 1979, America and Iranian relations. People, I'm just going to be blunt, and I've said this in so many ways. Ever since February 28th of 2026, Operation Epic Fury, we took out Ayatollah Khomeini, their supreme leader. Now, I've been watching this Middle East, as you can see, since the late 70s. I know how it goes. Revenge happens. And I think it has already taken place. And I've been saying Trump needs an exit strategy, and then this is it. But I do believe he's in his hour of desperation. And I'm going to show you why. You see, this woman who is Miss Fashion of the White House. No other first lady has even come close outside of Jackie Kennedy than Melania. Melania, she know how to dress, especially for the occasion. And I told y'all she in black. I think she's in mourning. I think Melania is in mourning. But whom? And when? And for what? Well, I'm going to show you. I just showed you my receipts. I've been watching this thing for decades. There's a thing called Sharia law. A lot of you guys know about it. You've put it in the chat. It's real. Customs and traditions and heritage and belief systems, they're different from America. We're a smorgasbord. The Middle East is different. I told you guys before, I believe Trump was more interested in what he could get as opposed to what he could maintain, and that is this country. Well, Trump had a big meeting before he left today to go to, I think it's France, wherever he's going next. You'll hear the video. And he mentioned that if he didn't solve this crisis, there would be a world depression. I haven't heard him say that before. People, something has already happened. And he gonna leave. And they gonna fake it. This man bit off more than he could chew. And if I'm right, he know he made a big mistake. Let me just go down the road. Hope I get it all in. Now, you guys know Ivanka Trump was targeted. You know this happened. I reported on it. They caught the guy, put him in prison, a few weeks ago, right? That's one family member. Understand what I'm doing here? There are people who are sounding off, just like this guy called Meet Kevin. I want you to listen to what he has to say about the deal. And Trump, but mainly J.D. Vance, he's on talk shows. He's out there saying a lot of misinformation. But there are some people who are credible saying this peace deal is no better than Obama's, or even worse. I think he's desperate. I think he's got his warning. And I think he just want to wipe his hands clean and get out. Listen.
Of understanding, because we just got the 14 details of it, and let me just be straight with you. I think that Iran is going to get to a nuclear weapon, and I think that the United States doesn't really care right now because they just want the stock market to go up and oil to go down because midterms are coming, and obviously getting reelected is much more important than truly worrying about Iran getting a nuclear weapon. Now, obviously, I clearly understand that Donald Trump tells us that Iran has agreed not to have a nuclear weapon, but what is part of this memorandum of understanding literally enables them to do just that. They've left a massive blind spot, and it should honestly scare the crap out of Israel. Yeah, so if I were Israel, I totally would understand why this MOU is looking really bad. Because I think with this MOU, Iran is going to get to a bomb. Now I'll break down and I'll explain this in just a moment, but if you're sad by this or you're throwing your fist at the TV because you think I'm trying to be anti-Trump, it's not. It's just trying to break down what's in the actual...
I will put Meet Kevin in the description. You can listen to his video. I watched this yesterday and my mind went in recall after Trump said depression. Trump, Melania, and her son, who half of you all believe that's not him. She's in black. In my opinion, she's in mourning. She's in mourning, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. She's in mourning. This woman don't dress like this in the evening at a wrestling match. You know Melania, she pop on some pants and some pumps in a minute and a nice little brown blouse and a jacket. Y'all know how she roll? She's out of place and you know it. Put out of place in the chat if you know what I'm talking about, especially women. You know she's out of place. She got on all black. That's a message to me.
Trump is back in the spotlight, and this time it's his appearance that has everyone talking. The 20-year-old made a rare public appearance at UFC Freedom 250, the mixed martial arts event hosted on the White House South Lawn to mark his father, President Donald Trump's 80th birthday. Standing noticeably taller than both President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, Barron arrived with a very different look from the one people remember. The New York University student debuted longer, more relaxed hair and ditched the tie, opting instead for a white button-up shirt and dark blazer as temperatures remained warm into the evening. And
as temperatures remain warm in the evening, why she have on black? Is this Melania? Is this Melania? And who would this be? Is this Melania? And who would this be? Is that perfume? Ancient Egyptians heavily perfumed bodies during mummification. Embalmers applied aromatic oils, resins, and balms directly to the skin and soaked the linen bandages in them to mask odors, prevent bacteria, and grant the disease divine status. Type in, put into Google, did Egyptians with their mummification put perfume when they wrapped the bodies? Yes. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And when they wrapped the body, you can freeze it and watch it later. When you wrap the body, is this not a wrapping? And it's blood on there? Is she not holding perfume? Come on, man. I decoded this a lot on my last channel and on this one too. I said her eyes looks like the Monster drink, don't it? The number, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What comes after 5? What number comes after 5? Okay. 3 times on her eyes. And I told you, is that a football? And is that the base of the football? In other words, is that this? Is that her head? Are they going to act something out in the future and it's already happened? Are they going to act something out in the future? If this is a football and this is the base of the trophy, and this is a child, and this is Melania, I'm not saying who this is, but that's on you. Are they going to act something out at a Super Bowl for 2027? That's all I'm asking. Now watch this. I made a mistake on this video by a date. And this is getting into the actual date. Trump went to Walter Reed Hospital. You heard me. And they said it was for him. Trump went to Walter Reed Hospital. The day that he went was May 26th. I thought it was May 25, but watch my decode. I want you to see something because on the way, I decoded the license plate before he went. Watch. See the license plate? You see the arrow, you see Trump? And you see the license plate. Lights, cameras, action. When you add up the license plate, and for those who you all have been with me for a while, you know where I'm going with this. And welcome, new subscribers. God loves you. There's the license plate. 1 and 3 is 4. Plus 5 is 9. Plus 4 more is 13. Now, I take it as a date. 13 is 1-3. January 3rd, 2027, next year, 1-3. Yesterday was May 25th, 2026. The difference is 7-13. That matches the date. Now, you know, Trump got hit in the ear, they said, in Butler, Pennsylvania on 1-3. Now, because I was a day off, let's look at it like this. Trump went to Walter Reed Hospital. See it right there? Went to Walter Reed Hospital. It was really on May 26th. See the arrow? I'm pointing at May 26th. So it's going to change things up, but it's going to make it more interesting. May 26, 2026, Trump went to Walter Reed. Sunday, the license plate is 1-3, right? So I'll put January 3rd, 2027. The difference is 7/11. Didn't Trump say 7/11 back in the day when he meant 9/11? In other words, a crisis. But look at it like this. Here's your January 3rd again. The license plate is 1313. 13. June 14th, 2026 is the first time we saw Barron Trump in a long time. The difference between the license plate of 13/2026 and June 14th, Barron Trump, a different look. The difference is 514. What is 514? That's when Israel became a nation, 514. Are you kidding me? And I'm just asking, is Barron still around? Is Barron still around? Is he still around? I'm convinced she's in mourning. She's in mourning. And the question is, whose child is this? If in fact this is Melania, if that's her. But I know one thing, my spirit tells me she's in mourning. Now let me go back to this thing. I'm gonna show you guys something. April 19th, 1939, Ayatollah Khomeini. That's his birthday. The supreme leader who died. That's his birthday. May 26, 2026 is when Trump went to the hospital. Walter Reed. The difference is 45 in weeks. Trump. We took out the supreme leader. I don't care how powerful you are on the planet. The world becomes smaller when you do things like that. Just putting it out there. Could something possibly have happened already and you're not telling us? Now look, on June 9th, after suffering a large tear along its stripes due to high winds, they took down the massive flag over the Hoover Dam. June 9th. They initially put it up June 3rd. They had taken it down then also because of high winds. I showed you guys that. I did a few videos. They put the flag over the dam, the Hoover Dam. But they took it down. And I was speculating, was it in relation to Joe Biden? Maybe it wasn't Joe Biden. I want you to think. Now here's March 20th, 2009. That's Barron's birthday. Barron's birthday versus the flag, June 3rd, 2026, went to half stance where they took it down over Hoover Dam. That means Barron was 20 years old that day, 20 years old and 214. What is 214? February 14, 2027 is the Super Bowl. I said it's the Super Bowl. And her head looked like the Super Bowl trophy. Who is this? All I did was take the day to day, took the flag down, like half stance, or got rid of it. Subtracted from his birthday. Barron was 20 years old and 214, February 14th, 2027 is Super Bowl Sunday next year. That coincidence? February 28th, 2026, we unalived Ayatollah Khomeini, Operation Epic Fury. June 14th, 2026, Barron got a new look for Trump's birthday. That's 107 days in between the day that we unalived the supreme leader. What is 107? Kamala's coming back. That's her book. I believe Trump got an escape plan. Now listen to this.
A lot of work last night. You saw that, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a great article. It's really fantastic. So, I'll be doing a news conference at about 4 o'clock today. Before we leave, we're going to Paris. And then we'll be going home tonight, I guess.
I guess.
And so we'll be heading to Paris, where we have a big dinner meeting with a lot of the same people. And then we're going home. And it's been a very successful trip. A lot of things have happened that have been very good. We'll be discussing a little bit about the deal with Iran at the 4 o'clock news conference. It's a great deal for a lot of reasons, but number one, by far, 99.9% is they will never have a nuclear weapon. And you can't give Iran a nuclear weapon. And they will never have a nuclear weapon, so that's very, very strong. It's a very strong deal. Nobody knows what it is, but it's very strong. And most people seem to be very happy. Who's really happy is the market, because the market's gone up thousands of points over the last 4 or 5 days since hearing about it. And the strait is going to be opening. It's already partially opened. It's going to be opening up soon in full over the next day or two. And the market has gone wild, and oil has come tumbling down. Oil is at $73 or $74, and it's getting to very close to where it was before the crisis. The difference is now we have Iran without a nuclear weapon. So we'll see how that all plays out. I think people are going to be very happy, but there's nothing so smart as the market, and the market loves it beyond anything that I've actually seen. Again, the stock market has gone through the roof, and oil has come tumbling down. I guess it's in the low 70s now.
Depression.
That's amazing. So that's what speaks louder than words. The alternative would be a worldwide depression.
Oil will come tumbling down. And 30 seconds later, if this didn't go down, it'd be a worldwide depression. Come on, man. You think you're telling us? And I'm going to see if I can make sure I cut this out. But he calls Barack Obama for giving him the money back in the day a SO, you know what? I have to bleep it out.
Yeah, but nobody could have made this deal. I mean, the JCPOA done by Obama, he handed him $1.7 billion in cash, gave him hundreds of millions of dollars, gave him billions and billions of dollars, but he gave him $1.7 billion in cash, green cash from banks, into a Boeing 757 and flew it into Iran. And they stood at the plane. I have pictures of it, like, oh my, look at this money he's giving us. He tried to bribe his way out. I didn't do that. Nobody mentions that. 1.7 billion and hundreds of millions of dollars. They tried to bribe their way out of it. And you know what the Iranians did? They laughed at Obama.
I'll edit it out. People, let me tell you something. 2340 mark. I gotta edit it out because I don't want to have that curse word on there. People, I think he's desperate. Either they're doing future past. They are either doing future past and going to stage this in the future, and this being Melania and this being someone else. I'm not going to say. Either they're going to do a future past and allegedly she dropped a hint by being in black, she being in mourning. Something's going on. You tell me what you think. Because close to almost half you guys said this is not him. So are they planning something? If that's not Barron, something's up. That's all I know. Something's got to be up. Because Melania knows how to dress for the occasion. And this ain't it.